if you can see me and hear me and see me, you're not watching this live. You are watching this live because this is B Minor.
I'm the X Factor.
And we're here. Now it's recording. We did a little test run just to make sure the audio was working. But here we are, the real deal, B Minor and the X Factor with Ricardo Hamilton, who is a business owner, entrepreneur, financial and wellness coach, teacher, trainer, and motivator. The guy gets me fired up, has a large YouTube following, and knows his stuff when it comes down to how to build and maintain wealth. So, Ricardo, thanks for joining us, man.
Yeah, no, my pleasure, man. It's always exciting, to speak to new people and share this information, especially in these times. So, no, I'm happy to be on.
Sweet, man. Well, maybe will you give us just a little background, kind of where you grew up, kind of how you got started, and where you're from?
Yeah, definitely. So, DMV, born in DC, raised in Maryland. In the last 10 years or so, been specializing in the financial services industry. Started out selling life and health insurance, and just kind of continued my education on the monetary system from that point, especially after 2008 financial crisis, when I saw the average person got the short end of the stick while the big banks and Wall Street kind of just, got away with it. And, it was an average person who did everything right. They went to work and, contributed to their 401k, and they did everything by the book. But obviously the system doesn't work for the average person. So through my investigations, I wanted to find out how I can be a better service to those people, as opposed to them offering them something that didn't do well during a financial crisis. And that took me to sound money. That took me to real assets. And so now I help people build and secure their financial future in real assets, sound money, also known as gold and silver, and helping them get prepared for the new economy, because the world is changing. The same way our phones have evolved, our TVs evolve, games evolve. Well, the monetary system is evolving as well. And, I want to help people be in position for that transition so they don't get left behind.
That's amazing, man. And me being a big finance guy myself, I mean, I love everything that you're doing for the financial services, kind of helping people. I'm actually working an internship right now as a financial advisor in the financial services industry, life insurance and, financial advisor duties, all that kind of stuff. So it's cool that you say that because we're one and the same. I'm just kind of following your footsteps there. But yeah, also the transition that you were saying, like when I tell people that I invest in cryptocurrency, they think I am the craziest person in the whole world, like precious metals, all that stuff. But like, people have to understand the transition and the way that life is going. Like, there's a need for these things. So it's really, really cool that you explain the transition.
Yeah, I mean, it's, there was one point in time where the British pound, the sterling, was the world reserve currency status. And it was physical silver, that the world acknowledged as money. And it used to be the dollar that, was backed by gold and silver. But even before then, everybody used cash and checks, that's what they used. And then they bought in plastic, MasterCard, Visa cards, debit cards. Not everybody had plastic in their wallet. There were some people who didn't even like it. They're used to dealing with cash and checks. I don't want to deal with this. What is this digital, plastic stuff you're giving me? Well, now today, everybody has Visa and MasterCard in their wallet. So it's the evolution of money. So we're going, the Visa, MasterCard, and then, went digital, and now it's going to crypto. So the same people who are hesitant to get into crypto, it's just a matter of time before the system, the monetary system, forces you into crypto. So it's better that you understand the transition of sound money and cryptocurrency now, as opposed to it being forced upon you.
It's the same thing with war. You don't have to like war, but war can find you. And that was a warrior that said that, but that's just something. You might not like crypto, but it's gonna find you. And that's something Bitcoin, just doing research, listening to the Investors podcast, shout out Preston Pitch. Just an incredible thing that's happening with Bitcoin. And it's so far ahead, I think, of the other cryptos that I think it's going to settle as the most dominant form of cryptocurrency. There is a lot of options out there, but I think the security factor, and that it's limited to 21 million coins, so it's so it's scarce, and other coins don't have that finite amount. So if you're looking for a great podcast, the Investors Podcast on Bitcoin Misconceptions spells it out pretty clearly and why Bitcoin can't be shut down. It's kind of like the internet. If you think you can shut down the internet, that's going to be tough.
Yeah, what gives any cryptocurrency or Bitcoin value is it's the blockchain technology. So you'd be better understanding the value of blockchain technology, because it's not going to just revolutionize money, and it's going to revolutionize everything. I mean, every industry, government, I mean, everything, insurance, healthcare, deeds, records, title, everything is going to be on a blockchain. So when you understand the value of blockchain, then you see the value of crypto. Now, for the people like myself, or just people who like to diversify, that's where you're like, you know what? I know gold and silver. Gold and silver has been money for thousands of years, since Egypt to Rome, or Greece to Rome, to, Great Britain, the British pound sterling. The dollar used to be backed by gold. Gold, the dollar used to be backed by silver. So, I tell people, look, there is no guarantees of where, things are going, but that's why you diversify. But one thing is for sure, gold and silver will always have value. They will never lose their value, right? Because they have a track record of over 5,000 years. So what we do is we help people save their money in a physical asset. So we get physical gold and silver. You don't want to have paper contracts. You don't want to have ETFs. You don't want to have, a stock or something saying that you own it. You want to make sure that you have that physical asset in your possession. And that's what we do. We put the physical asset in people's possession.
I think that's so important to look. If you don't know what happened in 1971, monumental what happened in 1971. Monumental. If you look at what happened, the website WTF happened in 1971 when Nixon took us off the gold standard. So you used to be able to go get silver or gold with your dollar bill. In 71, it became fiat money, which fiat money means it only has value because the government says it does. It's not backed by anything but the government's word. So in 1971, divorce rates were kind of going like this, went like this. If you look at number of incarcerated people in the United States per thousand, it went like this to like this. There's so many things connected to this going away from gold. And I think that's what you're saying, Ricardo, that hits me, is that you're actually physical gold and silver, right? Not just you say it's part, you have part of it, or you have a fractional bill, which that's why they came out with bills, was because you couldn't transport gold and it couldn't be divisible small enough, because otherwise like a cup of coffee would cost like a flake of gold. So what, you weren't able to divide it small enough to pay for every day. So then they said, oh, well, this is part. So this is part of it. But WTF happened in 1971 is crazy. And it all ties back to this taking the US away. So now having gold, the US, I mean, who do you think holds more gold and silver than anybody else in the world? Governments, right? Like people, like the US government holds a lot of gold in its reserves.
Yeah, I mean, if I could share a screen, I could show a graph on that.
Yeah, let me show you this. Yeah, let me go here, more. Try sharing your screen now.
Okay, there we go. So, we do this on the presentations, but this graph, let me do this.
Yeah, that's the Bretton Woods Agreement ended in 1971.
Yeah, so in 1913, the Federal Reserve was set up. The Federal Reserve is a private banking cartel. They're not a part of the federal government. We can't audit them. They have no oversight. I know you see them go before Congress and it looks like they're answering questions. That's a dog and pony show. You can't audit the Fed. They're private, they're institution. But when they took over the printing of the money, now we have to pay back the dollar plus interest to the Federal Reserve. And you can see from 1913, the value of our currency has continued to decline to where that says 2013, it's at 5 cents. So this is 2020, it's even lower, 2 cents or whatever it is. Especially since the Federal Reserve has been printing trillions of dollars because of the pandemic, and even before the pandemic, the economy is not healthy. So, and like Abib was mentioning, that in 1971, you see Nixon close the gold window and end the Bretton Woods agreement. And so the dollar got the world reserve currency status because it was as good as gold. If you had a dollar bill, you had gold. It was a certificate, a receipt for gold. Now it's just a piece of paper. And what that allows governments to do is have deficit. It allows them to just spend and print and print and print. And they don't have no accountability because they don't have to have the actual physical metal behind all the paper they're printing. And that's why people find it hard to get ahead. That's why you see inflation. That's why people are struggling. That's why you see financial crises like 2008 and maldistribution of wealth and assets. All of that it stems from the monetary system. And so what we do and what we do at 7K is we help people get the physical asset, physical gold and silver. Now, what really gets me excited about them is the Sound Money wallet. So think about Cash App or PayPal, right? You can have cash in that account. Now you can press the button and instantly convert that cash to physical gold or silver. I'm talking about $1, 50 cents, $1,000. It doesn't matter what amount. When you put in that account, it's in gold and silver. And what happens is that account will adjust to the market value of gold and silver. So that account will continue to increase in value at the rate of gold and silver for you. And then anytime you want, you can press the button and sell that gold or silver and have that cash move right back into your account. Or you can have that gold or silver physically delivered to you. And they deliver via FedEx, companies based out in Idaho. But I think that's really dynamic because obviously banks aren't giving you any interest on your money. They're making money off of you. And then of course the dollar is losing value. So anytime that you can put your money in an account where it will adjust to the value of gold and silver, which gold and silver, are going up with the money printing, it adjusts on the market. They're up and downs, but the trend is definitely up. And then be able to move that to cash or get the physical, that's a better way than just leaving it in an account, So that's one of the things that really gets us excited about this company that we're leveraging right now to build wealth and secure our financial future.
I love it. I love it, man. Here's that. I was going to share with you guys what I was talking about with the cumulative inflation. If you look at this, like this is inflation going up. I mean, and then if you just look at some of this other stuff, the price index in 71 changes pretty drastically there. All these things, it looks like, I mean, this is the reserve in gold price, and obviously it goes down, but we're up here.
Well, gold is at $1,900 an ounce now.
19 now, yeah.
About $1,900 an ounce, yeah.
An ounce, yeah. So this is just, if you're interested, you can look at this more, but like, this is the trillions of dollars, linear scale, the US national debt. It's kind of crazy to think about. This is what it was, and this is what the debt is now. If you go to, I think it's like national debt or
USDebtClock.org.
What is it?
USDebtClock.org. And so we're actually that stops at 23. It looks like 23. We're over $27 trillion in
27
debt.
now, right?
Yeah,
so off the chart.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you look at these things, it is kind of scary to think about if you haven't been prepared, if you're not diversifying. So I think X Factor's in a perfect spot right now to be coming out of college and to start thinking and knowing about this stuff that a lot of people don't know until
they don't teach this to financial advisors. He's getting something that they don't teach you about. They're gonna tell you about stocks, mutual funds, ETFs, IRA, annuities, and, things of that traditional investments that keep you in the dollar paradigm, keep you in that paradigm where they can easily confiscate your wealth through market crashes and inflation and deflation. This is more of a hedge. This is how you protect your money. This is financial and money insurance. When you have gold and silver. But yeah, no, I mean, this is what, I specialize in teaching people, because we will have, and we're in it, another 2008. Even right now, the Federal Reserve is printing $1 trillion every single night to bail out the banks. In 2008, we were $10 trillion in debt under Obama, and we're over $27 trillion in debt today. We're in a worse financial crisis than we were in 2008. And they don't want people to wake up to that reality, because they're getting ready to change things over, and they don't want you in position to really, they want you to go along with whatever they have planned for you. And I want people to have some better options, because there is a wealth transfer. Wealth is not destroyed. It just changes hands. Anytime there's a market crash, nobody, the money didn't disappear, just went to somebody else's pocket, right? Well, there's going to be a wealth transfer here, and it's happening into real assets like gold and silver and cryptocurrency. And that's what I'm an advocate for people holding. And the best way to get it that I found, and I don't know to be true, is through 7K metals.
For sure.
Yeah.
It is something to think about, because people don't understand, the more of something there is, the less it's worth. The more of something there is, it's worth less money, because it's scarcity. Scarcity creates demand, right? That's economics 101, right? If there's a lot of something, if everybody had a big fat diamond ring, my wife's ring wouldn't be worth as much, right? But having a little of something, which is why gold is worth more than silver, because there's more silver in the world. So gold is more valuable because there's less of it. There's more money in circulation right now than there was last week.
And without add to that, if you listen to people like Robert Kiyosaki, he'll tell you, gold, silver, Bitcoin, but actually silver, physical silver, is the most undervalued asset. I'm heavy in physical silver. Robert Kiyosaki would tell you physical silver is the bigger play. It's a smaller market, and also silver is an industrial metal, so it's used in over 10,000 applications. I mean, we're communicating because of silver. Gold is generally stored and used in jewelry, but silver is in a lot of electronics. It's in solar panels. It's in healthcare. They even put it in clothing. It's for medical purposes. I take colloidal silver. So, and of course, its role as money. So silver here, and it's more affordable for the average person. It's like $25 an ounce now, and it's halfway near its highs, while gold is at an all-time high, near its all-time highs. So as far as, well, should I get more gold or silver? I would definitely say get more physical silver. It's the bigger play, but you want to diversify into both. You want to get physical gold and physical silver.
What do you think about diversification, X Factor?
It's crucial. I mean, you can't have all your eggs in one basket. I mean, especially in anything, if you put all your eggs in any basket, whether it be, stocks, gold, anything, like you can't put everything in just one. So, definitely diversifying into other assets is excellent. And, I think that's what you're helping people do.
I think it's important. I think that's really important.
Yep. Diversification and hedging.
Hedging and diversification for sure. Because real estate was a great investment. But you can't have all your eggs in that basket. Same thing with gold and silver. I don't have all my eggs in that basket. You still have to have some liquid US currency, because it might be going away, but not for a while.
Yeah, there's a difference between your emergency fund, your savings, and your investment. Gold and silver should be your savings. Your investments, that can be stocks and everything else, because investment stipulates loss. If I invest in something, I can lose my money. You'll never lose your money having it in physical gold and silver. It preserves the purchasing power of your money. And then, of course, your emergency fund, yes, your emergency fund should be in cash. That's when you need to put your hands on cash really quick.
For sure.
Yeah.
What about the coins? I know value, like there's a value because the coins are scarce. So like proofs versus talk to us a little bit about the value of coins.
Yeah, definitely. I got about 5 minutes here, one thing that 7K Metals specializes in is numismatic coins. They got the top people in the industry that's dealing with numismatic coins. So numismatic coins are the highest asset class of gold and silver. Now, you don't want to have your gold and silver holdings in numismatic coins. It's just a way of diversifying your precious metal portfolios in the highest asset class. You definitely want to have bullion more than you would have numismatics, but numismatic coins are like pieces of artwork that are on gold and silver, that are low in mintage, and that have been graded by a specialist under 5 times magnification. And that grading scale is called the Sheldon scale, and it goes from 1 through 70. And so what we're dealing with is MS 70 coins, which is flawless, perfect, never been touched by human hands. So think about it like how the wealthy preserve their wealth in artwork. That's the type of value or wealth appreciation that you have with numismatic coins. And so what 7K Metals has done is they're pretty much specializing in that niche market of numismatic coins and providing people the ability to have these assets sent to their home on a consistent basis. They have, the specialists who've done all the research on what's particular coins and whatnot that you would want to have. But yeah, I mean, that's another reason why I like, 7K, because we're not only getting gold and silver at pretty much dealer direct pricing, but we're also getting the numismatic coins, diversifying in precious metals in all areas of their classes.
That's definitely important to recognize that diversification can happen within the precious metals and right, because some coins are good to have, but then also having just bullion and just it's 25 an ounce now. I mean, if my dad, one of the smartest things he did just before we go, he used to keep silver dollars when they were worth $1, right? And for $1 you could get, he tells me about dime beers. I'm not old, I mean, but my dad's an old guy, but he talked about getting beers, 10 of them for a silver dollar. And now that silver dollar, you can still get 10 beers, but if it was in silver, not if it was in paper money, not if it was in fiat paper money, but if it was in a silver dollar, that's worth probably $30 now, you could still get.
Before I go, I'll share this last slide that I shared in the presentation, because since you mentioned it, it's not necessarily beer, but it's talking about milk.
Milk, yeah, similar idea.
Yeah, in 1965, an ounce of silver and a dollar bill were equal in their purchasing power, so it would get you a gallon of milk, right? But today, because the dollar, like that chart you saw, lost its purchasing power over 95%, you need $20 to get 5 gallons of milk. But that 1 ounce of silver, because the buying power has increased over 410%, that 1 ounce of silver can actually get you over 5 gallons of milk. So same thing with a movie ticket. So, we show that yes, $1 and an ounce of silver used to have the same purchasing power, but that silver is an asset that increases in value over time. So it buys you more tomorrow than what it bought you yesterday, as opposed to holding on to that dollar, it buys you less tomorrow than what it bought you yesterday. So
it's good. That's a good one to wrap up on. I think that's crucial to think about, is the value sticking power of silver.
Purchasing power. Yeah.
Purchasing power.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. X, you want to give anything before we wrap up with Ricardo?
Yeah, man, I just want to tell everybody that it's super duper important to, like we said, diversify, to learn about finance and, how you can enhance your financial freedom in your future. So I think definitely anybody that's watching this definitely strive to do that.
Yep.
I think that's great, man. Make money. Scared money don't make money. Is that a saying for Vegas? I know we got Bill in here. Vegas guy giving us a thumbs up. Scared money don't make money, but sound money will make money.
That's right.
For sure. Well, hey, I appreciate you joining us, man. Give them where can they find out more information about you and what you're doing?
Yeah, definitely. So once again, my name is Ricardo Hamilton. I can be found on YouTube under Ricardo Hamilton, also on Instagram. Under wealth and assets. That's wealth with a letter N in the middle, and then assets. And then you can message me there. Instagram, also on Facebook, Ricardo Hamilton on Facebook. But send me a message, because I'm getting so many people now that I don't just accept everybody. But yeah, that's where I can find. And the last thing I'll say is, what I say before I end pretty much a lot of my streams is that this is the opportunity that if you didn't come from a wealthy family, this is the opportunity that you make sure that a wealthy family comes from you. A wealthy family can come from you today because of the time that we're in. Just understanding where the monetary system is and holding the right assets, you literally can change not only your financial future, but for generations to come. They're going to remember your name because of decisions that you decide to make with that paper today.
Love it, man. Powerful stuff right there. You may not come from wealth, but you can leave wealth. Bingo. So if you're gonna walk, walk on.
Walk on.
All right.